Hello and welcome to the debut episode of Recruiting Insider on DMVSTREAM.COM. Well, obviously the biggest thing going right now has got to be National Signing Day. And you know that it's coming up in just about a week now. It's February 6th. And we've got a lot of good local recruits that could be making big decisions on signing day. The biggest we have to start with is Yannick Ngakwe. He's probably the best prospect in DC and one of the better prospects in the DMV right now. You've got to think about him being a great outside linebacker. He can rush the passer as good as any prospect in the area, and he could even go inside and play middle linebacker. He's athletic. He's fast. He's got all the tools you're looking for in an outside linebacker. Right now, I think he's narrowed his choices down to Florida State. He's narrowed his choices down to South Carolina and Maryland. And you look at those three schools, and they all have a lot of good things going for them. Florida State's obviously a powerhouse in the ACC every year. South Carolina plays in the SEC, where it seems like every recruit wants to be at right now. And Maryland's the hometown school. But Yannick already committed earlier this year to Maryland and then decommitted. So you kind of have to wonder what he's thinking there. And I talked to Yannick earlier this year. I've seen him play a bunch of times. And let's go in. I've got a few highlights that I can run of him that I've seen earlier in the year. And I actually got a never-before-seen interview that's never been aired. And I'll show that to you guys right now.
Nine. I got 9.
Base 1-1, base 1-1. Ready.
Make it so goddamn long with everything. Be in the way. Need it. Not coming. Yeah, let's go. Outside, you can be inside. Inside. Back his head. Stop. Can't do that. Come on, Wayne. Go.
Yeah.
All right, just start me off by talking about how the season's been going for y'all so far.
For us, for friendship,
Yeah.
the season's been going real good for us. We're 5-0 right now. Well, we're trying to be 5-0 after tomorrow when we play against Poly Prep. And so far, everybody's been successful.
I mean, how's traveling been for y'all? I know y'all have a lot of out-of-state games. I mean, how's that been?
Traveling's been good. It gave us a lot of time to bond as a team. Like the road trips has been real fun, and just traveling it brings us more together because we're not at our home. Our fans are not really there to support us, so we just come together as a team and we bring out the win.
I mean, do you think you guys wish you had more local games, or?
I mean, it really doesn't matter to us. We just want to play. It don't matter where, what time. We just want to play.
I mean, do you get the feeling that like any of the local schools are like dodging y'all or anything like that, or?
Nah, I don't really feel that. I mean, competition's gonna come, so I guess I can't really say on that. I really can't really talk too much on that.
All right, just talk to me about have you set any personal goals for yourself this year on the field?
Yeah. My personal goal this year is to get my other teammates better and get them to where I'm at and just help my team. That's it.
All right, what would you say are your guys' team goals this year?
Team goals, go to the championship, win the championship, BC title.
All right, I know this being the first year having the DC title game. I mean, how much does that mean to y'all?
It means a lot to us because it's my last year here. It's my first and last year playing here, and we're able to play for a championship, so it's pretty cool.
All right, talk to me about college a little bit. I know you recently decommitted from Maryland. I mean, what went into that decision for you to decide to take some more visits and stuff like that?
I mean, I feel like I rushed the decision too fast, so I just wanted to take some more visits to see if it's a better fit for me other places. It's nothing personal against Maryland. Maryland's still on my top 5. So.
All right, and I mean, what do you think is going to be the biggest determining factor down the stretch in deciding where you want to go?
Where I feel most comfortable at.
All right, and have you scheduled any visits? I mean, other places yet, or?
Not yet.
You plan on doing that over the summer, or?
I'm gonna do that sometime in January. I'll probably December. Yeah. Yeah, December.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have a time frame for when you think you'll make a decision? Or?
I really don't know, probably Saturday or maybe in a bowl game or something. Yeah, an Army game or something like that.
All right, and just real quick, what are the other teams you're considering other than Maryland?
Tennessee, West Virginia, South Carolina, Miami.
All right, man, and just talk to me, besides the comfortability, what else are you looking for in the program? All right, that was Yannick. We know now he's definitely going to announce on signing day, but he's got to be the most high-profile guy left out there in the DMV, and it seems like he's kind of already eliminated Florida State. I don't want to say that's not for sure or anything like that, but it seems like South Carolina and Maryland are the two schools he's really focusing on right now, and I think he fits in both. They both have a need for outside linebacker. Maryland lost Darren Drakeford, and South Carolina lost a lot of their linebackers. So I think wherever he decides to go, he's definitely going to get playing time right away. I don't know. Maybe he won't play his freshman year, but he's going to get playing time pretty shortly after he gets there. He's got everything you look for, and he's going to be a dominant outside pass rusher anywhere he goes. The next guy I'm going to talk about is actually our feature commitment here at DMVSTREAM.COM, and that's Jaquil Vay. He's a cornerback, wide receiver, running back, a little bit of everything out of the Avalon School in Gaithersburg. And he's a great athlete. I've seen him play. I've seen him practice a couple times, and he's a really good athlete. No matter where he plays, whether it's on offense or whether it's on defense, he's just an athletic kid, and I think he's going to do well wherever he goes as well. I've talked to him a couple times, and I know his preference is probably to play on the offensive side of the ball. But I don't exactly know where coaches have talked to him about lining up. Probably some at cornerback, probably some at punt and kick returner, just because he's a blazer. He's got lots of speed, and that's his biggest attribute. Let's look at the video we at DMVStream.com made here of Jaquil's commitment that will be on signing day.
I'm Jaquil Vay, athlete from the Avalon School, and I'll be making my commitment live on DMVStream.com. The things that I like about Iowa is definitely their fan base. I like what they have to offer academically. It's just right for me, basically. The things that I like about Maryland is that, one, also it's close to home, so I get to be close to my parents. Friends and family can watch me play, and definitely that they are higher up there in academics. It looks good. My strengths as a player is my speed and my quickness and my agility, and also being a team leader and working really hard. I don't have a position that I prefer to play. I just want to get on the field, to be honest. Yeah. Tune in to DMVStream.com on February 6th to see me make my commitment live.
All right, looks like we might have had some technical difficulties with the Jaquil video there, but anyways, he had initially narrowed his list down to 2 people as of 2 days before, and that was Maryland and Iowa. But as of yesterday, he got a call from Nebraska, got an offer from them. So obviously, when Nebraska comes calling, you gotta think about Nebraska. They're a big time school. They've always been a big program. So he canceled his visit with Maryland this weekend, and he's going to Nebraska. Terps fans, don't be alarmed. He's a local guy, so he's been to Maryland a bunch of times. He knows what Maryland's about. Maybe he hasn't taken his official there, but he's been there a lot of times, and he's seen the campus, he's seen games. So I wouldn't read too far into this if you're a Terps guy. Nebraska, though, they're a latecomer in this. They're gonna push hard for him to try and get him, and they very well could. It's not often that many kids in this area have Nebraska come calling. You think off the top of your head, Marcus Newby committed to Nebraska, and QO's had a couple other guys commit to Nebraska because they had the connection. But not many other guys have gotten a lot of Nebraska offers. So when they consider Nebraska, you have to think that's a big time school. But make sure you guys tune in DMV Stream Live or DMVStream.com on the 6th, and you can see where Jaquil will be going. I'll be there hosting the ceremony and talking to him afterwards about where he's going to go to school and why he picked where he went. So it's definitely should be a good event, and I hope everyone tunes into that. I'm not going to lie, I'm a homer. I'm a Maryland fan. I graduated from the University of Maryland. So I'm going to talk about some Terps recruiting here for a little bit. You have to talk. There's two guys out there right now who, other than the two guys I just talked about, who are seriously considering Terps here before signing day. The first guy I want to talk about is Dan Monterosso. He's a wide receiver out of Ohio, and he was committed to Boston College. He's recently decommitted and is considering Maryland as one of his schools. Since Diggs and Deion Long and some of these other bigger guys have committed to Maryland, it's kind of scared away some of the wide receiver recruits in the area. And we definitely need one more wide receiver in there that can step up with some of the slack after some of these upperclassmen are gone. So I think Monterosso would fit that role well. I mean, he's a pretty big kid. He's got a great vertical jump, and he does a lot of things well. And he's got great hands, and I think that would be a good late get for Maryland. So the other kid I wanted to talk about was Jalen Miller. He's a big defensive end out of Florida. And he's a 4-star recruit, so obviously if Maryland could get him, that would be a big get. He would fit in very well in the 3-4. He's a big guy, so he can play end in the 3-4 system. And he's another one. Him, Yannick, Jaquil, and Dan Monterosso are all guys that I know Maryland would love to get right here at signing day. They've definitely bolstered their class, and I know I'd like to see him get him too. So. You have to talk about those guys as being some of the few guys left around that Maryland's targeting here at the signing day period. I'm going to transition here into basketball for a minute, and I was at the Gonzaga PVI game last night, and it was a great game. Main person I focus on anytime I watch PVI is Marcus Derrickson. He's a great player. And he might be the most high-profile guy we've had in the DMV in the past few years. By the time all is said and done, I mean, he's only a sophomore. He's got offers from all kinds of people. And I've got a few highlights of times I've watched him earlier this year, so let's take a quick look at those. There is a few highlights from Marcus Derrickson, and I mean, for a guy his size, he's got a great stroke. I mean, you look at someone who can shoot it from outside, who can post it up and play inside. I mean, he can really do a little bit of everything. He played some as a freshman last year and played really well in the WCAC, which you don't see very often. He's a sophomore this year, and he's probably the best player on his team. I mean, you've got a lot of good young guys on that team that I'll talk about later. But Derrickson's got offers from Georgetown, Iowa, Indiana, Maryland, NC State, just to name a few. I know he's got a lot more offers than that, but those are just some of the really good offers he's got so far. And I know from what I've heard from other people that he really covets North Carolina, and I know that if they come calling, they could take him. So we'll see what happens on that front. And another guy on PVI that I want to talk about a little bit is Franklin Howard. He played really well last night. He really kept PVI afloat in the first half with 12 points in the first half when they weren't playing so hot. and he's a great player. He's a wing that used to play at Gonzaga, transferred to PVI, and the Gonzaga faithful was giving him all kinds of trouble last night. But nonetheless, he's a great player, and he's got offers from a whole bunch of people. And let's see a few highlights of Franklin Howard. Those were some highlights of Franklin from the couple of games I've seen him this year, and I mean, he's a great athletic wing. He can take it inside and bang with the big guys. He can take it outside. He's obviously got a nice stroke, as you saw there. And I mean, he's another guy on PVI that's a sophomore. He got offers from everybody. He's got offers from Florida, Georgetown, NC State, Ohio State, Villanova, and a litany of more offers. He's another guy who's going to probably garner some bigger time interest as the year, especially next year in his junior year. I look for some of the bigger time programs to get involved with this guy, and I think he's another guy who wherever he goes is going to end up being really successful. He might even still have a little bit of growing to do, so get in the weight room, things like that. As that kid matures, he's going to definitely be a player on the college basketball scene. The next guy I want to talk about, or the last guy for PVI actually, is Tyler Scanlon. He's only a freshman. And I've seen him a couple times. He's really impressed me. He's contributing major minutes to PVI. The first time I saw him was when they played Oak Hill. He made a crucial three, which I'll show you in a second, to really put PVI over the hill in that game. And let's look at a couple quick highlights of Mr. Scanlon. Obviously, he's a freshman, so I've only seen him play a couple times. I wanted to say a quick thank you to CapitalHoops.com for giving me a couple of those clips that were in there. And Scanlon's really impressive. He's a big guy. He's 6'5", and he can take it inside, take it outside. I mean, he's really good too. I mean, he doesn't really know. He knows interest so far, but not offers. So I'll decline the comment on that until he gets a little bit older. But he's going to have a lot of big-time schools after him too. So you're looking at a few guys, and if you include Kevin Dorsey in that mix, who's also got some big-time offers, 4 guys who's got big-time D1 interest at PVI, and they're all sophomores or younger. So look for PVI in the coming years to be a really good program, and the recruiters are going to be going through there like nobody's business. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be D1 guys there every single day at practice to take a look at these guys, and you're going to see a lot out of PVI in the next few years. Also, one guy I want to talk about from Gonzaga who's not committed and has big-time interest is Bryant Crawford. He played really well last night. He's a really aggressive point guard at Gonzaga. And let's look at a few highlights of Bryant. few highlights of Bryant Crawford. He's another kid who's got high D1 interest. I actually was hearing a lot around town that he was favoring Indiana, but he's got offers from Indiana, Georgetown, Rutgers, and Maryland. And I was actually out there on a shoot last week, and a lot of kids were there on Gonzaga's team too. And before practice, they were talking about the Hoosiers and how he was Iowa bound and things like that. So I wouldn't read too far into that, but I mean, it looks like Brian Crawford's favoring Iowa, or I keep saying Iowa, Indiana right now. So you look for them to be the favorite down the stretch. But he's another kid who's super athletic, super aggressive. He runs the point really well. He's probably going to play point at the next level. So that's another kid who's a slasher, and he's a really good player too. I want to just tell everyone thanks for joining in. This is my first Recruiting Insider Live, and I just want to thank everyone for joining in. I'm going to try and play this Jaquil Vay video one more time, just so I can maybe get it to work this time. So let's see if we can get that to work real quick.
I'm Jaquil Vay, athlete from the Avalon School, and I'll be making my commitment live on DMVSTREAM.COM. The things that I like about Iowa is...
Yeah, doesn't look like that wants to work for me, so I just want to thank everyone that tuned in for tuning in. I'll see you the same time next week, at Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and that will be signing day, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So signing day is going to be a big day, so I look forward to seeing everybody next week at Recruiting Insider Live.